Hi, actually today's video's introduction is the hardest part because I want to get your attention, but it's pretty hard to do so. Basically this video will be about loadouts and what would you like to emphasize in your loadout. Do you want to cooperate with your team? Do you want to take a look at your team's composition? Do you want to take a look at your enemy's composition and stuff like that? Or what would you like to do? Avoid flankers or something like that? So anyway, let's get started because this contains much information. A very good example for the video will be Buck, because he has numerous loadouts I made just to show you what I want to talk about. First of all, I was thinking about Buck like, yeah, he has pretty nice HP, he has heals, he has two different type of damage bonus and yeah, and stuff like that. So let's pick a horrible one. Let's pick net shot with this. Okay. So what do I want to utilize here in this loadout? I want to ensure that if I get a kill, I will get reduction. Buck reloads pretty slow, so if I buy a deft hands level 1 at least, then I can get it like it would be level 2 and speed. And actually it wouldn't be that bad, but it's actually very horrible because you go inside and you do what? You try to 3-shot someone if you don't aim for the head, which is pretty terrible. Because, first of all, if you want to pick Ensnare, then you should probably aim for a card that prolongs the duration of your net shot if they don't buy resilience. Because with only prolonging it a very little bit, it would be actually over 2 seconds. So you can get 3 shots with bonus damage instead of 2 because of that 0.3 seconds. So this is a must-have card. I don't need speed or anything if I can't even get a kill. Also, if I would like to utilize lifesteal, then our team should probably consist of something that has a very good healing, like Ceres or Ying maybe, that can pump out tons of heal in very little time. Because let's say if I get on low HP and I just want to recover and stuff like that, okay, I can achieve very big life per second, or how to say, very big life rip, but what's the point of it, seriously? If they pick Cauterize, it will be reduced to 0 almost. Even if even if they get only Cauterize 2, it will reduce to 400, which is still pretty nice because if you can land at least 2 shots, they need to damage 3100 health off of you to kill you, but still, with Cauterize 3 it should be easy for them. Except, for example, if you pick this card a bit higher or something like that. So anyway, but it only works below 50% health. So what you should actually aim for example, if you use this legendary, you use this legendary to get into combat and into close range and to set up a kill for your team or for yourself. And what you should actually do is aim for damage reduction, which also gives you HP, but it's not true life rip, but it takes much longer to kill you like that. Almost 5 shots. And it is not affected by Cauterize or anything. You can even buy Heaven or something next to it to make it even better. And okay, this for me, every time I can aim for any card that reduces cooldowns, I go for it. I also have Tangled if I would still go with Ensnare. And still I get lifesteal against targets with net shot. Lifesteal works very well with this because your damage will also be higher during that time. So for example, if they get me low, I can still restore much health from headshotted targets. And it's not that much, but that 30% off of my health is a very big chunk. Also, it is similar with Tyra. I thought for a long time that... Okay, let's pick something. Hunting party with Mark. I thought that this is a good loadout because Tyra has low ammo count, so I wanted to increase her ammo. Of course this card. And like cooldown reduction so I can get marks often. But the real problem with this card is that you utilize your only one magazine that you have, and while you provide damage increase for your allies, which is nice, you will still have to reload much more than usual. And you shouldn't actually have that kill refunds ammo card, because if you're not a flank, someone else can steal your target and then what, you stand there like a noob. So what I aimed for nowadays is, for example with Mercy Kill, to give me damage reduction. It gives me a very good dueling opportunity, of course this, and instead of having 8 ammo plus, I can have 3 times 6 ammo plus if I activate nade launcher. And also these stacks, these damage reduction stacks, so if I just spam, and I don't even have to hit the target to actually get that bonus, so they can kill me off pretty hard with Tyra too, and it's very nice. Tyra also has a built-in 15% life rip with damage increase on the target. It should be pretty easy job to kill anybody actually. Even if I'm wounded, if I can get at least one nade on the target or 2, they are pretty much dead and they can't do anything about it. So Tyra is the ultimate example of what you should aim for if you want damage reduction with damage increase with Hunter's Mark. Also, one common problem for champions is if they get flanked, for example, is, let's say you run out of ammo and then you go away to reload. But if there is a flank here and they can catch you at the time that you want to reload, then you have to finish your reload, which is pretty bad, except if you can't cancel it with this. To reload faster, of course. You can cancel the animation if you didn't know yet. It works with every champion. Also I'm wondering now, what if I pick Death Hands, will it work too? Oh, sorry. I will get back ammo. Ah yeah, it works with someone like 25% remaining or something like that, or 1/3. Okay, so that's all for Tyra. Also, you might want to harmonize your abilities cooldowns. For example, let's say there are 2 enemies there.
Alright, they're getting hot.
Where is it? And you have this card. It reduces grace by 3 seconds if you can hit at least 2 enemies. Which means you can almost instantly use it again. But because you also make an auto shot, or how to say it, manual shot between 2 shots, you can actually use it again. So it's really nice. This is harmonizing your cards with each other to have them back up each other's cooldowns. For example, Cassie 2, uh, if you pick this card with this, it means if you can hit with both shots your target, your roll gets reset instantly. Because with only roll, you get 2 seconds remaining, so you have to aim for something like this, and then you can already have a roll again. So this is just harmonization, and it's really important. For example, with Bomb King 2, this Fallout card. Let's say there is an enemy, and you just throw a grumpy bomb on it, and you want to poppy bomb someone else to there. And then you have poppy bomb again if you want to escape, or something like that. So yeah, you get the point. Okay. So what we learned so far is that what would you like to emphasize? You want to emphasize your legendary card with cards like Tangled if you go Ensnare, or would you like to go damage reduction, for example, or lifesteal? But why would you go for lifesteal if you would be outplayed after court rides? The point of lifesteal loadouts is that you don't want to wait for the match to last long, as court rides can happen. For example, once we had a team of 5 healers against a normal team. Actually, we were standing on point. Wait a sec. So actually, we consisted of, I don't even know what. We had a Furia, a Grover, Dumba, Ying, and Grok, if I remember correctly. No, we had a Ceres instead of Grover maybe. And basically we just healed each other until we kept the point, and the enemy team had no chance to actually kill us. They had a Pip, but the Pip failed his ultimates into Grok's totem countless times, so it was very nice. So it was luck too, but on the other hand, they couldn't get enough credits by killing us, and they couldn't even keep the point or contest it because they just died there. So by the time we pushed it, it was 1-1 because we couldn't push the last some meters. No, wait. We pushed it in. It was 2-0. They didn't even have point for Coterais 2, so it was just the same. We kept the point, and then they defended, so it was 3-1, and then they kept one, but we defended 3-2, and then they kept again and they pushed in. So yes, basically, of course you don't want 5 healers in your team, but if you want to emphasize life rip, you should check that if anybody in your team has life rip 2, for example Victor, this card. If you have multiple targets in your team with life rip, it should do the trick. Also, they are good with, for example, Genos, because you get extra damage from your shots, so you regain more HP, and Genos heal is not a very big heal, it's just to emphasize your damage. For example, with tanks, if you have a Genos only, then maybe it's better to not take this card, Determination, because it heals maybe 60 more health per second, which is pretty much useless, but you should go for this card that you gain 200 health per second, which simply doubles the health you gain with Genos heal. So you should make loadout for this too. If you are with Genos, you can expect it. What else is there? So yes, but my guess is that damage reduction is actually the best available stuff out there. Life Rip is countered by Cauterize over time, even if you have Genos or not or anything. So better go for damage reduction because it is good. Also, if you're a tank and you have damage reduction, for example Inara or something, you should buy Rejuvenate if you have a Ceres or Furia or I don't know what in your team. For example Furia with Beam. Because if they get Cauterize 3 but you have at least 2 Rejuvenate, the beam will heal you up to full health no matter what, only if they shoot you 5v1, then you will die, but still. Okay, next thing I wanted to talk about is speed and ammo. No, I talked about ammo already. I thought maybe I didn't, I don't know. So I told you that maybe they catch you while reloading and you will get easily raped, but by having something like this card in your loadout, then you will be able to counter flanks, because you can just spam this and it will be more than enough to kill any flank. I picked the same with seeing if I go resonance. I mainly pick resonance if we play with my friend 2 heals in the team. Activating illusion generates 4 ammo is the same because you actually put illusions to the point or something to get either healing or damage from resonance. And if someone wants to flank you, you don't really want to teleport if you have to reload, because you might teleport into the point where they kill you instantly. So instead you can just pop an illusion, it grants you a body shield as well, it can heal you as well, and also it can give you ammunition. So you can just continue firing, which is really nice. Next, speed. It would be very tempting to go for this loadout with Sky, because if you can hit an enemy, it reduces your smoke screen by a lot. By the time you would have again poison, almost, you will have again smoke screen as well. So you can just hide however long you want. And it shouldn't be a bad thing, I mean. But the point is that you want to be a flank with Sky, and for that you have to pick this card. It is a must-have, because you cannot really flank with this speed. You cannot just go in their back and go with the grandma style and shoot them. But if you play as a damage, for example, in the beginning, and you can just get a kill, then you can pop hidden and you can run around their team and then happily hunt down whoever you want and get away safely. So yes, this is a must pick card for Sky. You cannot afford being in stat forever, it will be countered by Illuminate anyway. And then what will you have? A poison, and what else? Nothing. So it's pretty bad. You should aim for speed and that's all. Okay, what else? Also, if you're a tank, let me just show you this. For example, with Terminus you might want to use your shield pretty often. I mean this. You want to use it pretty consistently without having too much downtime. If you can get 4 Calamity Busts, it is good by itself. For example, my loadout contains power siphon charge with hit with axe, and also this. If I hit with Calamity Blast I get back, and of course the damage reduction to generate a blast. It's pretty neat. Actually, for example, if you can hit it, you get back a shit ton of shield. So yeah, you should be able to use your shield with termins. This is the main goal of being with termins, to be a point tank maybe on smaller maps, for example Jaguar Falls and stuff, and to provide your team sufficient time to do their stuff. Or you just go with the flanks and you just hold up your shield and they can shoot whoever they want behind from you. So it's also really nice. So it's good either for flank or point tank. And you should really look for point tank loadouts to work as a flank too. For example, Ash. If you pick Ash, maybe I showed it before, but you can pick loadouts that emphasize your shield. If they get destroyed, you just have to pop kinetic burst, and then you almost instantly have a shield again. Okay, but for example, if you want to play as a flank or something, let's pick elimination and also shield too. It's not that different, but still. Because you can still knock them away. And now you have a shield again if you can manage to kill them. Notice that if you kill them while your shield is still ongoing, oops, will not get you anywhere. So you have the full cooldown remaining. Okay, so basically it's your decision to make flank or tank loadouts, but as tanks you should still not forget that you're a tank in the first place. And it's really nice if you can have shield while you flank too. You can still shoot. So yeah, it's a pretty big plus for flanking tanks. Also mainly Genos is the reason that you want to pick something. For example, if the enemy has a Genos in their team, then and if you have a Ceres or something that heals a lot in the first rounds with only quarter 1, then maybe you can pick life rip loadouts and win the fight before they even get a chance to pick cauterize 3 by capping twice and pushing it in. It should really give you a huge advantage having someone who heals big amounts. And also on the other hand, for example healers, if they restore 2000 health to you, damage reduction can come in handy too, because it takes more than 2000 to reduce your HP again to the same point where it was before you got healed, because you have, for example, a 20% damage reduction, so it will take them 25% more damage to shoot you down. And also, for example, about harmonization lags. Most people use Discovery, legendary card, and I can understand that. But if you want to pick heroism, it's also really good, but then you have to get something that fits it. For example, this, of course, it helps really much. And I was really thinking between these two cards, which should I like to give more points, but I decided that this is more important because, for example, with normal slide, you get this long slide, and it's like, wow. Also you can cancel it before it would end. You can cancel slide. But with this, you actually slide a lot more, and by hitting shots you will also get cooldown reduction to it, so it's really nice. The main problem with this is that you can only turn your camera 90 degrees while you slide. So I don't know how to properly use this yet, but probably you should be able to slide multiple times if you can aim good with this earthquake simulator. Also, you can just slide and activate your right click, impulse it, and then slide again if you want. So it's pretty much, I don't know, it's a fancy move, but still this really represents how harmonization works. On the other hand, for example, for characters that have inbuilt self-rejuvenation, everybody knows that I'm talking about Pip in the first place. It's good for him to buy even a life rip or something. He really benefits from it. Also, why don't I heal myself? Because they are not slowed. They are CCM. So basically with this card you can get back your cauterize like it should be on level 2. Even with Koga, for example, you can have this card at whatever high level you want, trigger happy, and you can go with anything very nice, restoring your HP, or Moji, for example, like snack attack.
Okay, real talk.
And then you have this, maybe, for example. Restoring 600 HP isn't pretty nice in itself, but the point is that if your HP would get low, then you can still pick this up and you will get back a lot of HP. So yes, self-rejuvenation is also a very nice card, and you should probably aim for it if you have the opportunity, if you wouldn't miss anything very important. Why is Moji silent?
Alright, they're getting hot, they're getting hot.
So yes. What else is there? Okay, I just give you one more example for harmonization and then I end the video. So, Zin. Never mind. This master stance, if you can get hit with counter, it will be good for your whirl, and also whirl in itself is very good. So, for example, if you use whirl on a target, and then you have it again, and you can use it to escape or finish your target. So actually a lot of like this stuff exists in the game. You have a lot of stuff to go with in your loadouts, so you should better have a look on your loadouts on every character, because probably there are stuff that you missed or you could improve. I think this covers everything I wanted to say for now. So thank you all for watching, and have an excellent time discovering your own loadouts, but you can improve in them, and hopefully you learned something nice from this video that you can use in your matches. So see you next time.